Hey everybody, it's Bernie Gallerani bringing you another episode of Success is Not Convenient. I'm excited about this one. Here's the topic. Be the person who inspires you. Be the person who inspires you. Let's get into it. And I came up with this thought in actually filming a few videos. When you get a chance to do a lot of these kinds of videos, you start talking and you say things that could change how you look at things sometimes. And so as I go through this with you today, I want to ask you a question. Who's inspiring you? Who is the person today that gets you to look at your life a little bit differently? You know, I've always been a person who believes in mentorship or coaching. I've had a personal coach within the business world for the last 21 years, and that's Mike Ferry, and I'm very grateful for the time. And I've learned a lot of things about coaching through that process. And the number one thing I think I've learned that stands out so far above anything else I've ever learned is who believes in you more, somebody else or you? And what I've learned in helping people within the companies I have and the people that I've been able to coach within my organization is that I feel like as a coach, I believe a lot more in the people that work with me as salespeople or even as employees and see so much more potential in other people than they actually see in themselves. And in all of the years I've been doing this and working with folks and helping them grow, the biggest challenge that I have is their lack of belief in themselves for growth. And it's not always apparent that it's a lack of belief in growth. It just shows up in their behavior pattern. And so what does that mean? You know, we look at things like we can, and I always say this as a little bit of a joke. It's like if I gave you the combination of how to be wealthy, which there is a small step process in the world of selling real estate that I can teach to any person that was taught to me through the Mike Ferry organization, that there's 4 or 5 basic steps. It's kind of like a combination of opening a safe where you roll the dial this way to a number, you roll the dial that way to a number, you roll the dial this way to a number, and yet for some reason just cannot figure out how to get the safe open. And sometimes you have to dial the number in so slightly that if you just miss it a little bit, the safe door doesn't open and all the opportunity doesn't come out. And so you're like, you have to be patient enough to open it up. You have to hit the right number, the sequence. And there's only 4 or 5 numbers, but you have to focus in your time, your energy, your enthusiasm, and your desire to want to grow in order to click in those things. But here's a question I have for you. If you knew there was only 4 or 5 things, that's it, just 4 or 5 really basic things. There are really 4 or 5 things that almost anybody could do. Now, they do take a little bit of work and a little bit of time to learn it. It's like dialing in that little thing. If you could dial it in, just really focus in on what it took to hit those 4 or 5 numbers or those measurables that allowed you to be successful, could you do it? And that's really the question that I have. And so when we work with people, we understand that you have to be the person who's willing to put in all the work. And you have to be the person who inspires you. And this is really the key of this video today. Are you the person that inspires you? Or do you allow yourself to be inspired by other people, but then just don't do anything about it? And so in all the years of coaching that I've been around and being a student of coaching and being a coach also for my people that work at my company, it has become more challenging to get people to grow. And the reason why is because they're not inspired by them. And so what my coach always said to me, Mike Ferry, for years and years, and he says, you cannot uplift the downtrodden. And I didn't really understand what that really meant. What does that mean? What does that mean when they say you cannot uplift the downtrodden? There are so many things, and I'll give you an example. People come in and talk about their woes in their daily life. Well, you don't understand what I went through, and you don't understand my story, and you don't understand I got kids at home, or you don't understand I have this going on, or I have that going on. And we can hear the woes, and we have to uplift them through some sort of coaching to try to get them to move forward. I'll never forget about a coaching client that I had one time, and I had called my coach, Mike Ferry, and I said, listen, I got this coaching client. He's going through some marital issues. Looks like he's heading towards a separation/divorce. And Mike was very empathetic within that conversation, but I love what he said to me. And he goes, listen, he goes, here's how I want you to coach this person. He says, the divorce might be inevitable. There's not a lot I can do as a coach, meaning me, Bernie, to help this little particular person's marriage. However, what he did say to me was this. He says, you have to get them back working because if not, they're going to have two problems. They're going to have marital problems and then they're going to have financial problems. And so I thought that was interesting advice. So I worked with the client and we ended up working through it in that these are tough times for people to go through. Everybody has tough stuff. But who's uplifting you? Who's coaching you? Who's inspiring you? And you might go, well, I don't really have anybody that does that. Well, there's a lot of coaching opportunities, a lot of good companies out there that can help you. I chose Mike Ferry because I thought they were the best, still do. I want to inspire you to also say, you can also inspire you. You can also uplift you. You can be the person that inspires you. And what does that take? It takes somebody who says, no matter what my obstacles are, I'm going to succeed. No matter how difficult I have it, somebody has it worse. No matter what my emotional problems are, I have to get over it because if I don't, I can't move forward. See, we can sit back and we can do two things. We can come up with really great ideas, but allow our excuses to stifle our growth. But what does that get you? More excuses on why you didn't take bigger risks. You know, I saw a video recently. I watch a lot of this stuff doing these social media things, and there was a lady that was being interviewed. It was over the pond in the UK, and she's 88 years old, or was when the time the video was filmed. And they asked her, what was one thing in your life that you wished you had done different that you didn't get a chance to do? And she says, you know, I played my whole life too safe. She goes, I didn't believe a lot in myself, and she goes, I was insecure, and now at 88 years old, she says, I wished I hadn't have done that. And so the question is, do you believe in yourself enough that you'll seek out coaching to help you guide you through? Because if you don't believe in yourself enough, be the person that inspires you. If you aren't the person that inspires you, a coach's not going to help you. I coach people all the time, don't even believe in themselves, and it's really so difficult to get people off the ground. And yet I have one person that works in the company today. She's fantastic. And because I get a chance to meet a lot of people in the companies that I run, I get to see stars that shine from day one. And this person has come in with the best attitude, knew absolutely nothing about our business, came in and is every single day has had the best attitude of almost anybody I've ever met, super coachable, super enthusiastic. She believes in herself so much, I don't think anybody could bring her down. She doesn't really want to get involved with somebody else's problems because guess what? She has her own that she's dealing with. But what she does is has a good attitude about everything. And no matter how difficult it is for her, she comes in like today's her birthday. She comes in like, man, this is such a great day today. And guess what? She's killing it in real estate. She's such an easy person to coach because her attitude is really good. So here's a thought I want to leave you guys with today. How do you show up every single day into your workplace? How do you approach your business? If you're an entrepreneur, are you down and out because of something that's going on inside the market? Are you one of those types of people that sit there and watch the news all day long and go, the whole world is going to hell in a handbasket, just watch TV? You know, I love what my mentor always says. He goes, don't ever let anybody dictate your growth. Don't pay attention to any naysayers. If you got 9 people that are negative and 1 person that's positive, don't listen to the 9. Because just the one person alone who believes in you can change your trajectory of your entire life. You're going to have 9 people that are negative, 9 people with a ton of problems that want to share all those problems with you. Be the person who inspires you. Don't wait for the 9 to neg you out. Find the one that is in your growth pattern, in your process of growth, and latch onto them because the 2 people that think the same way are way more powerful than 9 people who are negative. But it doesn't start with somebody else inspiring you. It really starts with you inspiring you. Be the person who inspires you. Be the person who inspires you. Get up every day. It doesn't matter who you run across. Be the person who inspires you. And if you're inspired, you're unstoppable. If you have a mindset that you're going to kill something today and you're going to conquer it, it doesn't matter what happens to those other 9 people. You're going to stomp right over them, roll right over them, and go, sorry, I left you behind, but I'm actually going somewhere, and I don't even care if somebody comes with me or not because it's lonely at the top. You know, there's what they say, the bottom of the mountain is really wide, the top of the mountain is very pointy. Very few people stand at the point of the mountain because it's difficult to do. But it's also 100% in your control based on whether or not you inspire you. So here's the message today. Don't let anybody bring you down. Don't listen to any naysayers. Don't focus on people who tell you can't do something. Be the person who inspires you. Hope you guys have a great day.